Originally we didn't have any specific budget for the wedding dress. I kind of decided to set the budget at around £600. This was because I'm very lucky that I get a Christmas bonus from work, and the year before we were getting married, my bonus was £600, so I decided that I was going to use that to pay for my wedding dress. So that's kind of what set the price. And also, speaking to other friends, that was kind of in the ballpark of what I'd be able to get a reasonable wedding dress for, I thought. And while it was still so much money compared to what I'd normally spend on a dress, it was still within my kind of like, okay, I can just about bear to spend that much money. I didn't really know what I wanted before I actually started kind of looking around. I suppose I wanted something that was going to be comfortable. I'm not a very dressy person, and I'm not a very girly girl either. So I didn't want a very traditional wedding dress. I didn't want something that I'd feel restricted in, or very kind of just not myself in. So it's really important that it was comfortable, that it was going to be kind of light and easy to wear. And then once I started looking for different styles of dress, I quickly kind of ruled out the traditional things. I wanted something very light, very flowing, and very kind of light to wear because we were going to get married in the summer. It all started looking on the internet. So I started looking at kind of wedding websites, wedding blogs, to see what kind of options were out there. And I struggled because there's lots and lots of wedding dress sellers that are very traditional, kind of big princess dresses and kind of very elaborate kind of lace dresses with long trains, things like that, out there. So there's lots of those, but I really didn't fancy having that kind of wedding dress. So I struggled at first to find anything that was really that kind of light flowing, kind of a bit boho style. I eventually found one wedding blog that was very much that kind of feel, called Boho Weddings, and from there I found a couple of different links to other kind of wedding dress sellers that were kind of more the style that I was looking for. And so I went off looking at what they had available and kind of what kind of price they were at, whether they were in my kind of price range or not. Well, we got engaged in the middle of November, and I'd actually found the company that made my wedding dress in January, and I think I booked an appointment to actually go and visit them for the first time. I think it was the start of February. That was the first date that I could go and actually see their dresses in person, actually try some of them on. I went to try the dresses on at the beginning of February, and we actually got married the start of June. I got my dress from a company called Mina, and they do handmade wedding dresses. So there are a number of different designs that you can pick from their collection, but you can have those tailored and customed to whatever you want. So you can change the type of lace that you use, the type of kind of colour of kind of material, kind of the different linings. So it's very customizable, so you can have exactly what you want. So I found a dress from them called MacLeod. It's very simple, very light and easy to wear, but to make their dresses they require kind of 16 weeks. So it's a reasonable amount of lead time, and luckily when I went to see them, I think I ordered my dress a week or two after I'd been to visit them, and that left me just enough time to be able to collect my wedding dress the week before we got married. I spent a little bit over my original £600 budget. The dress came in at, I think it was about £670. I wanted a few extras, so I had an extra belt added onto the dress, which was really worth it because it made a lot of difference. But that was kind of a little bit of extra money, and the dress itself was just over £600, I think. But I was very happy for what I got for that amount of money. Definitely, as soon as I tried on the dress that I had in the showroom, it just felt right. It was so comfortable to wear, it was so light. It almost felt like you didn't really have anything on, which was what, not that I want to be naked at my wedding, but it just felt kind of like a second skin. It was just a really easy, comfortable dress to wear. Yeah, it was just a really great dress. I don't think there was much that I would change. I was quite focused fairly quickly on. I did a bit of research looking around at the different types of dresses that were available. I quite quickly narrowed it down to something quite bohemian, and that kind of narrowed down the amount of people that I could get that type of dress from. And so I didn't do a lot of the searching through wedding dress shops, which I'm grateful for. I went to the one supplier, I tried on a number of their dresses, picked the dress that I liked, and went with that. I think the only thing that I'd change is I wouldn't bother looking through wedding magazines at wedding dresses, because all of the ones that I liked and picked out had a hefty price tag of kind of a couple of £1,000s. So it kind of left you feeling like you wouldn't be able to find anything in your price range that you'd like. But other than that, I don't think there's anything I'd change. I think I would say to think about what's really important, whether it's kind of being comfortable, whether you want something really kind of elaborate, what's the most important thing for you for your wedding dress, and also to set a budget, because there's no point spending huge amounts of money on a dress for your wedding day. There's lots of other things that are more important than that I think you could spend the money on. I had it dry cleaned and it's currently sat in my wardrobe. I had good intentions of having it altered to be made into something that I could use again. I still hoped to do that, but I'm not sure whether I actually ever will. Most of my friends also have their wedding dresses sat in their wardrobes, not really doing anything, but it's definitely a good idea to get it cleaned straight away so it doesn't get ruined. This is the wedding dress I chose. It's the Nicola dress from Mina. It's a very simple dress. As you can see, I chose to have a V neckline, quite plain and simple. This was one of the alterations I had from the original, which is one of the benefits of having a kind of a bespoke dress, that you can have things adjusted to how you'd like them. So I had a V neckline that wasn't too low, and I wouldn't be too worried about accidentally revealing myself to all the people attending my wedding. I also had a satin sash added to my dress, and as you can see in this picture, it was a very long ribbon which I had tied in a bow at the back. This just tidied up the centre detail where there's kind of an elasticated part across the waist. So that made it very nice and neat, and also added a pretty detail at the back. This dress is handmade from silk and also lace. So underneath there's a complete silk lining, so it's really nice to wear, very soft to touch, and also really light for a summer wedding, which was great. And then on top of that lace for the skirt, we had a very pretty flower lace material, which added some nice pattern to an otherwise quite plain dress. It had a matching V detail on the back. You could alternatively have had that dress really low slashed at the front, but I was a little bit more modest than that.